Hello, welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Crazy Boy. Today's video is going to be called Santísima Muerte, or Holy Death, or Saint Death. Okay, so it's all those different ones. The first thing I'm going to talk about in this video before I begin talking about Santísima Muerte is that I cannot really call it a religion yet. People right now are calling it a cult, mainly because it is not recognized by the church yet. People do want this saint to be recognized in the Catholic Church, but the Catholic Church has turned this away. Mainly because the Catholic Church says that death did come to Jesus, but Jesus was resurrected. So death was defeated. So this is the reason why the Catholic Church will not accept this. But I'm going to call it a religion. So the first thing I want to talk about are the myths behind Santísima Muerte, which is Holy Death. The first myth that I've heard is that she is actually the Virgin Mother, but dead. So that's the first myth behind this. The second myth is that she used to be a nun, and she had an affair, and she was shunned from the church, but still lived her life as a nun, even though, you know, she did wrong or whatever. So when she died, she was buried with her nun outfit still on, and all that was left was her skeleton. So it kind of looked like, you know, Santísima Muerte. So that's the other myth behind it. The third myth that's behind it is that the location of where Santísima Muerte has come from, which is in the heart of Mexico, where you can actually see, you'll still see the ruins of the Mayan temples. And it is believed that the Mayans did pray to a god of death, as most pagan religions do have some sort of a god of death. They feel that the Mayan god has just manifested itself and turning itself into Santísima Muerte, or Holy Death. So yeah, it's very interesting. Now I'm going to be talking about the origins of where it started, or where it came from. Santísima Muerte did come from the slums of Mexico, from the jails of Mexico. A lot of people have asked me why. Why would they want to have a saint that is a saint of death? Mainly because of their lifestyle. Because of what they've chosen, what path they've chosen. They are prostitutes, they are drug dealers. They are people who have murdered other people. They are people who have stolen from other people. They understand that death is right by their side, and that they give thanks to Santísima Muerte for letting them live another day. You know, that they understand, yes, death will come, but, you know, and death, the things that they are doing will bring death close to them, but to just give thanks that death did not meet them today. So that's one of the reasons why. The other reason is because criminals, prostitutes, drug dealers are shunned from the church. They are told that they are not in the light of God anymore. You know, that they need to repent, and sometimes these criminals, these prostitutes, cannot escape the life that has been created for them. So, you know, what are they supposed to do? So they end up praying to Santísima Muerte, again, respecting death, you know, understanding that this is the path that they have chosen, you know, but to give respect towards, you know, Santísima Muerte. And also too, also homosexuals, gay people, are also turning towards Holy Death. Again, also because the church has not accepted them. The church has said, no, you are not the child of God, and, you know, you are going to burn in hell. And Santísima Muerte does not close her arms to anyone. And I'm going to talk about why she doesn't close her arms to anyone. But yeah, so again, people who are shunned from the Catholic Church go to Santísima Muerte. Also too, as I'm going to also talk about the statues themselves, and how there's a symbolisms in the statues, you know, that mean certain things. Like, for instance, this statue right here, which all these statues have been given to me as gifts of protection. Right here, Santísima Muerte is holding a crystal ball, which signifies that she understands that people might have to look into the future. So again, card readers, you know, that come from a very Catholic background will start praying to Santísima Muerte for help or guidance, to have her help them out in a divination or anything like that. So again, she transforms, for them. And also, as you can see here, right here, you can see an owl. And the owl in Spanish is called the lechuza. And the lechuza is the creature of the witch, or the witch's creature. And I've heard a lot of, like when I was little, my mom used to say, oh, be careful, the lechuza will come and get you, if you're a bad person or you're a bad boy. The lechuza is very respected. Yes, it is feared, but it is very respected, mainly because the lechuza, whenever we see one flying in the sky, we either think of that the lechuza is holding a spell or delivering a message to somebody. Especially if you see a white lechuza in the sky, that signifies that a witch is sending a healing spell to somebody. So it's something very beautiful, and the symbolisms behind it are very powerful. Now the other symbolism that's on here is the world, and I'm going to get into why Santísima Muerte does not close her arms to anyone. Mainly because the reason why she holds the world is she is saying that death is the only fair thing on earth. That death can come to anyone. It can come to the rich, to the poor, to the young, to the old, to the strong, and to the weak. So holy death cannot close her arms to anyone, because in the end, you will meet holy death. So if holy death were to shun you or say no, you're not accepted, then you'd be immortal, and that just doesn't happen. So holy death doesn't see people being different. She just knows that death, that death is pointless, that there is no point to death, that one day death will come. But also, the other symbolisms that she gives off as a whole is that you should always cherish each day with your loved ones, to always remember them, to always never take them for granted, because you never know, tomorrow you may pass, or your loved one may pass. So always live each day as if it's your last. That's another thing that she also is a symbolism for. The other thing also too is Santísima Muerte, the statues themselves do come in different colors. The black ones are mainly for protection, and this one here is a multicolored one, which means it symbolizes for everything: love, money, luck, prosperity, all the good stuff. There are even candles that are made for her that are all the different colors, or they can be a black one, or whatever color that that you need, or whatever request that you ask of her. There are even rosaries that are made for her as well. So it's very, very interesting. You can see little skulls. Now, still, a lot of people will be still very afraid, especially that they don't understand, like, oh, it's a very scary. In Mexican traditions, we do not see death as something to be feared. We also have, on November the 2nd, we have Los Dios de Muerte, which signifies Day of the Dead. We have skulls everywhere on November 2nd. The reason for that is because we do not believe that when someone dies that's it. No, we believe that on November 2nd that their spirits come alive again, or that they come back to us, and we leave offerings for them, and we talk about them, their memories. And we also believe whenever you talk about an ancestor, or whenever you talk about someone who has passed, they are not dead, because you have taken the energy to talk about them, or to talk about their memory. So when you do that, you're respecting them. So we don't think that skeletons are scary. No, we see it as a celebration. So yeah, thank y'all very much for watching this video. Blessed be.